How are you experiencing the shifts of consciousness? Patricia Cota Robles, www.iraufpeace.org, August 29, 2021. During the 35th Annual World Congress on Illumination, Awakening Humanity in collaboration with our Father Mother God and the entire company of heaven, co-created the greatest shift of consciousness ever attempted in any system of worlds. Now that we have had some time to assimilate this incredible influx of light, our I Am Presence is standing in readiness to help us perceive just how this shift of consciousness is affecting each of us personally and all of us collectively. If you have not noticed changes already, all you have to do is ask your I Am Presence for this intuitive revelation. Then, if you pay attention, you will see not only positive changes in your own perceptions and behavior patterns, but you will also see that people, places, conditions and things in your sphere of awareness are gradually shifting in very positive ways. As you objectively observe, without interfering, the positive shifts taking place within the hearts and minds of your loved ones as well as the other people in your life, it will be obvious that something dramatic is happening. It is not that everyone is suddenly behaving in ways that are entirely different than their actions were in the past, but your silent observations will reveal that many of the people in your life are now responding in a kinder, gentler and more compassionate way to the people and situations manifesting in their daily lives. The people you are observing may not even be aware that their heart is more open or that for some odd reason they have better ideas and are able to think of more loving ways to handle the challenges that are surfacing in their lives. However, in spite of their lack of awareness, this is occurring because the original intensity of our Mother God's comprehensive divine love, which we were all invested with at our inception when we were first breathed forth as sons and daughters of God, has now been restored to its full divine potential. We have not been able to withstand this frequency of our Mother God's love since our fall from grace millions of years ago. As Awakening Humanity and the legions of light throughout infinity co-created a quantum field of comprehensive divine love, our Mother God was able to safely restore this frequency of her love in every heart flame. Then, as she enveloped the I Am Presence of every person, the restoration of this frequency of our Mother God's comprehensive love created the sacred space for the full activation of the divine masculine within every person's heart flame. This intensity of our Father God's divine will and power has been almost dormant since our fall from grace when we closed our heart and our Mother God was forced to withdraw her comprehensive divine love. The activation of the divine masculine within every person's heart flame was an essential factor in preparing for the next step of the unfolding divine plan. Once the divine feminine and the divine masculine in every heart flame were restored to their original balance and intensity, every person's I Am Presence was able to permanently secure the original presence of unity consciousness within our heart flame. This frequency of unity consciousness pulsates with the full divine potential of enlightenment and Christ consciousness the sons and daughters of God were invested with when we were first breathed forth from the core of creation by our Father Mother God. The God-victorious accomplishment of this mighty feat restored every person's immortal victorious threefold flame to the original intensity our Father Mother God breathed into our heart at our inception. We have experienced small increments of expansion in our immortal victorious threefold flame every now and then over many decades. However, for the very first time since our fall from grace millions of years ago, the full divine potential that our Father Mother God breathed into our threefold flame at our inception has now been fully restored. When we experience the full magnitude of how this event has changed our life, the beings of light said we will perceive it as miraculous. The power and positive influence of this awesome divine intervention from our Father Mother God and the newly empowered presence of unity consciousness cannot be denied, avoided or suppressed by the fragmented and fear-based human ego of even the most recalcitrant or resistant son or daughter of God. The company of heaven said our I Am presence alone has the ability to influence how this new frequency of our threefold flame will transfigure our life and accelerate our ascension process. Our I Am presence is one with our Father Mother God and functions in perfect alignment with God's will and our divine plan. What has now occurred in every heart flame will be a powerful catalyst that will create life-transforming shifts for humanity, the elemental kingdom and Mother Earth. The company of heaven wants us to know that every day as we breathe our newly elevated holy breath, the integration of our I Am presence is being amplified within us. Every electron, every atom, every subatomic particle and wave of our physical, etheric, mental and emotional bodies and all the spaces in between the atoms and molecules of our earthly bodies are now receiving and assimilating multidimensional and multifaceted divine light through our newly empowered immortal victorious threefold flame. We are one with God and the fullness of our Father Mother God now abides within us through our fully restored threefold flame. With the guidance of our I Am presence all that we are called to do, we will now be inspired to do with enthusiasm and happiness, for we will know that nothing is too insignificant. With every endeavor we will be embraced in the perfect balance of our Father God's power and our Mother God's love, as well as the full enlightenment of Christ consciousness bestowed upon every son and daughter of God at our inception. With the amplified integration of our I Am presence, we are now able to hear our intuitive inner guidance in new ways. As we focus on this inner guidance, we will realize that with the divine intervention of our I Am presence and our newly empowered threefold flame, we have the ability to liberate our Father Mother God's light in every physical and chemical interaction within our earthly bodies. This light is now healing and recalibrating all of the energy bonds within atoms and between atoms to the vibrational frequency of God's infinite physical perfection. We are now able to comprehend in brand new ways that our Father Mother God's eternal light pulsates with a divine wisdom that contains everything necessary to set straight the orbit, spin and electronic charge of every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of life on Earth. Through humanity's newly elevated holy breath, all of the energy bonds within the atomic realm are now being accelerated in vibration toward the frequency of the new Earth's fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light. Through the luminous being of light that is formed by humanity's unified I Am presences, every person on Earth is now receiving and assimilating the divine wisdom and sacred knowledge encoded within their own individual I Am presence, their recently activated 12 fifth-dimensional crystalline solar strands of DNA and now their fully restored threefold flame. As this occurs, every person's I Am presence is liberating the heart-based patterns encoded within the divine wisdom and sacred knowledge in our 12 solar strands of fifth-dimensional DNA. As these heart-based patterns flood the Earth, they penetrate into every interaction within humanity and all of the energy bonds therein. These interactions include the relationships of all people, all organizations, all cultures, all races, all religions and all nations. All of these interactions are now being liberated into the harmony of a higher order of being, thus greatly expanding the influence of humanity's I Am presence and our fully restored threefold flame on Earth. Through every person's integrated I Am presence, our 12 fifth-dimensional solar strands of DNA and our fully restored threefold flame, all of us are now able to clearly receive the divine promptings, ideas and concepts from our Father Mother God. All we have to do is ask. The beings of light have affirmed that as this profound truth resonates in every person's heart flame, our physical realities will be transfigured into the love-based patterns of perfection associated with the new Earth. Dear one, with eternal peace and infinite gratitude contemplate this information and allow the amplified divine energies from your I Am presence and your fully restored threefold flame to be assimilated at a cellular level as you revel in the bliss of this knowing. God bless you. Patricia Cota Robles. Era of Peace.